Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, powered by Come On Out the Podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Shomot. Talk facts over feelings. As you can see, the top right, we have a new logo there saying her game, her way, women's basketball. Everything that I post that's involved in women's basketball will also be posted there. That's a separate podcast. But a lot of my stuff will still go to Rudy's Rant. However, I just want to recognize that women's basketball is separate. And I'm separating all of my entities at this point. But going to jump in on this WNBA preview. I did the first three, I think, and now took a few days off. Now I'm on number 4 with all the stuff that's been going on, whether it's with Unrivaled, whether it was college women's basketball, etc. Let's talk about the Atlanta Dream. The Atlanta Dream made a big move. They made a big move to bring in Brittany Griner. They got big. The Atlanta Dream decided they were going to go big. They're going big or they're going home. That's what the Atlanta Dream decided. Brittany Griner, who had spent the entirety of her career in Phoenix, spent 11 years of her career. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, 12 years minus that 1 year where she was in a Russian prison. She spent her entire career in Phoenix. Little surprised that she left Phoenix, but she wanted to find out what it was like outside of Phoenix. I understand it. Atlanta, like what other place like that? I mean, Atlanta's a great place to go. Definitely different from Phoenix, that's for darn sure. But I think that's a big time move for Atlanta. Atlanta has a talented team. Despite, having a lot of games missed by starters Ryan Howard and Jordan Canada, the Atlanta Dream managed to squeeze into the playoffs as an 8 seed, going 15-25. But they're presuming health. Like I've always said, I have to presume people are going to be healthy. But if you presume health, this team should be a lot better. When you add in the fact that you now have a 6'8" beast down low, who is going to score easy buckets around the rim. I mean, Brittany Griner is the most efficient player around the rim in the WNBA. Even on a normal year, she shoots 56% from the field. She is the most efficient player around the rim, as I think she shoots about 75% within 3 feet. Brittany Griner is going to give you 17, 18 points and probably 7, 8 rebounds. That's pretty much where she's been for most of her career. Now, what do you get from the rest? I mean, they also brought in Brianna Jones from Connecticut, another big, which makes a difference for them. So, I mean, there are questions as to whether or not you play them side by side. That's a possibility. You will have a pretty formidable front line when you add in Ryan Howard, who is a guard / small forward, and you have obviously Alicia Gray, who's a deadly shooting guard, along with Jordan Canada playing point. You have yourself one heck of a starting lineup. I think they're going to be one really good squad, presuming health. Now, we do have to look at Ryan Howard, and Ryan Howard is a player that has to get better. And I'm interested to see, after watching Unrivaled for the last few months, I'm interested in seeing how this team plays this season. If it plays more through Alicia Gray, runs the ball through Brittany Griner. They had Tina Charles last year, and Tina Charles is a really good player, but she's not Brittany Griner. She's not that level of a player. So when you look at what they got, you got a player in Griner who you can now run an offense through potentially, but at the same time, create openings for your wings. Ryan Howard, though, has to shoot the ball better from the perimeter. She has to be more efficient. Efficiency will be a critical component for the Atlanta Dream, even with Alicia Gray. I mean, between your two wings, you got a 37.1% shooting and a 40.3% shooting. You need them to be shooting more in that 43 to 45% range, in my opinion. I think that makes a huge difference. I think it makes a huge difference with those two shooting at a. I mean, obviously, I think it's an obvious situation there to say they need it. If they shoot the ball better, they're going to be a better team. But it's what needs to happen for them. It's what needs to happen. You know, when you consider the fact that Alicia Gray in 23 shot 46.5%. So she shot under her typical average. Her career is 42.6. So she needs to get that thing back into that 43% range, 43, 44%. And I think with the addition of Brittany Griner, she's going to have a lot more open looks. I do think she'll have a lot more open looks. So that could make a difference. Ryan Howard has to avoid these just brutal shooting slumps. The other day she was 2 of 20 in a game. And I'm watching this game and I'm sitting here saying, "Will you take the ball to the rim? Like why are you take the damn ball to the basket? What you're doing doesn't make a lot of sense." It's utterly foolish at a certain point watching someone just jack and jack and jack and jack. You know, and this is mind you, after she puts up what was that game? Where was that? She put up 37 a game earlier. 0 for 8 from 3. Why you keep continuing to shoot threes? You're 2 of 20. Why are you shooting 8 threes? Go to the damn basket. It isn't complicated. So that's something that Ryan Howard has to get out of because that inefficiency is just not good. Like that's something that I have noticed from Ryan Howard playing in Unrivaled more than anything is I've noticed that she has these just brutal shooting games, but none of them were as bad as that game against the Rose. You know, the game before she was 9 of 17 of 3 from 3. So the next game she goes 0 of 8. You know, she's got games of, 2 of 8, 2 of 10 from the field. So she has to have 10 of 24. That's inefficient. 6 of 19, inefficient. But she's a critical piece, and she missed a lot of games last year. She missed 10 games last year. When you also add that's 20 for the women, that's 25% of your season. Now you also look at Jordan Canada, the starting point guard. Jordan Canada missed 20 games last year too. So you've got a lot of missed games. Now, beyond that, what do they have coming off the bench? Realistically, they don't have much. This is a starter-heavy roster. They have Naz Hillman that's coming off the bench. But that's really it. They got Haley Jones. Haley Jones was the number 6 pick in the draft just 2 years ago. She played all 40 games in both of her seasons. She's averaged about 16 minutes a game. She's averaged 3.8 points. She needs to elevate her game. She's a guard off the bench, 6'1". She needs to elevate her game. If there's a player on that team that has to become a better player and bring more to the table, it's going to be Haley Jones. But they don't have a very deep bench, and that is where the issues that they might have. You do have Ariel Powers coming off of the bench, who is a career 10.5 points per game. Looks like she's had, I don't know too much about her other than the fact that, I'm looking at her stat line. When she played a full season with Minnesota, she averaged 14 points a game. She has an ability, obviously, to bring something off of the bench as well. Again, another guard. So they need to get some performances out of Ariel Powers and Haley Jones. And at the same time, they need to make sure these women don't get injured. It's really what it comes down to. Someone has to step up. But I do think Atlanta has a good squad. I think they're going to be something to look at. Do I think they're a title contender? No, I don't think they're a title contender by any means. But I do think they are going to be probably among the top 5 or 6 teams in the WNBA. Brittany Griner and Brianna Jones are a big addition to this team. They are a big, big addition. So, and the fact, I think also you have to consider the fact that Jordan Canada is playing also in unrivaled. Alicia Gray's in unrivaled. Ryan Howard's in unrivaled. And Brittany Griner is in unrivaled. They're all in unrivaled. Canada's playing with Howard. They're getting to play together, feel comfortable together. I mean, they're probably already comfortable, but it gives you more. It always helps to play with somebody more. So these women are all together. I think that you develop even a better bond because typically in the off season you're not going to see each other. So I think the fact that they're all together is probably going to be helpful to them. Overall, I think they're going to have a good squad. They do have a new coach. Carl Smesko. They do have a new coach. They did let go of Tanisha Wright last year. Carl Smesko is their new head coach. He is the third highest winning percentage coach in Division 1A behind Gino Ariema and Kim Mulkey. Man has 672 total wins in Division 1 basketball, 8th overall. So the man brings a lot of experience to coaching and could be a great addition, fit for this franchise. But we'll see. We will see. I like their starting lineup. I do like their starting lineup. If they have issues in terms of foul trouble, it could be an issue. Injuries could be an issue. Injuries were a big issue last year for them. They still squeezed in the playoffs. If they're healthy, I like Atlanta to be in that 28. I mean, it's this 44 win season. Yeah, people might say that's a huge jump. I'm looking at 26 and 18, something like that. In that range, I had them finished in 1, 2, 3, 4. I had them 5th overall. I had them 5th. And yeah, people thought maybe I'm crazy in my power rankings, but I think Brittany Griner is going to bring a lot to this team. And I think these women playing in the same building, being together a lot. I'm sure these women have worked out together. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Atlanta does. I just wish they'd play in a real arena. This whole thing of playing this 3,500 seat Band-Aid box they play in, it just is ridiculous to me. It's insulting. It's just utterly insulting to them to play in that little closet, But yeah, those are my thoughts. I got Atlanta winning 26 games, 5th in the standings, and should be a good squad. You let me know your thoughts in the comments. Love to hear what you guys say. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, leave a comment, ring that bell. This is Rudy's Rant. Come on now.